I feel really excited about getting back to work. A bit nervous, a bit anxious because it's been so long. There's a bit of like, oh gosh, can I still do this? And that's why actually this week has been amazing, because it's just reminded me that yes, I can.
How do I feel about going back to work? Well, I've been fortunate in that I've had an opportunity over the last couple of months to do a bunch of self-tapes. And I was able to book a TV job. I'm ready to go back to work, really, quite frankly. I'm ready to be with other people in a rehearsal room, to be in community with people. And I'm really interested and looking forward to pushing myself physically in a performance setting.
I feel really excited, feels uncertain what it's going to be like. I'm curious to see what changed, how I'm going to react, how am I going to perform, how am I going to create.
I am, however, nervous, just in terms of like the pressure of finding the same level as before. You know, how do we get back into training in that way? Last time I went back to kind of lockdown and show, I got a really bad injury. So now it's like the adjustment of that is like, how do I get back to shows in a like safer way for my body and for my mind as well. So I feel excited, I feel nervous, but all in like a good direction of like, I want to do it in a healthy way.
How do I feel about going back to work is probably how I felt before the pandemic, where we always hustle for work, so it'll just be the same, going for the same job that everyone else goes for, and how to make yourself a little bit more of an eye-catching person for that job that you're going for. At the same time, really excited, so I'd love to go back to work, and I'd love to see people in real life and see faces and make eye contact and look across the crowds or work with other people in the same space again.
Because I don't feel like we're the same as like pre-lockdown and post-lockdown. I think a lot has happened in between that, so in terms of like mentally and physically. So I'm a bit kind of nervous being vulnerable in that way again to an audience.
Do I have any anxiety about crowds? Well, I have a wee bit, only because of my height. I'm 4'6", I'm short-statured, and in crowds I don't get seen, and I am at an average person's elbow height, and I have to do a lot of clocking of bodies around me to navigate so I can move through without being jostled and pushed. Would I feel an anxiety about performing outdoors? Nah. So if I'm a performer on stage with other people, I'm going to assume that I'm bubbling with them. I will be fine. If I'm in a crowd watching a performance, I will absolutely be masked up. So I think it's just going to be a little bit of give and take, actually, in terms of my sense of well-being.
I'm more worried about what it's done to the industry, what it's done to the audiences, what it's going to mean for the industry going forward, than what it means for my own personal health. I'm more worried about what jobs might be available, how theaters will run, how festivals can ever happen again. So there's more anxiety about that than there is about the actual physical ailments, I think.
I was so restricted throughout all lockdowns that now when I imagine that happening, it's I think if I imagine, the first reaction will be like, oh my god, a lot of people, am I going to catch it? But I think it's just gonna go as soon as you're performing, because it's just the love of my life, performing.